in referencing the archaeological dig, afterwards, you have the archaeologist taking the shards of a piece of pottery and sticking it together with another and forming the whole as a result. This is what I think about in terms of the combination of things inside the frame, but also in terms of the relationship between those things that occur inside each of the frames and the way they interact. In this photograph here, there's so many shards in it that reflect many aspects of society. We have increased breast size. We have magazines being shown, this is for women, and then we have magazines shown for men in terms of still selling the magazines on the quality of the men's breasts now. We have hand job magazines, things outside of the norm of what is in the newspapers of the day. And inside the newspapers, we read these things which are very much about that time. And this time, custody wars is the major one that comes through. In that, Mayor Giuliani is being tarred and feathered by all of those people in the newspapers for the way he was dealing with his wife. A month later, this was photographed in 2001 in August. 1 month later, after September 11th, he became a hero. And there's that conflict of, has something happened that he really changed as a human being? Or what is it that how do we deal with the representation of truth? And we have now so much about fake news. Is this fake news evident in this time in any of this paper? In the smaller newspaper down here, we have Bin Laden urges blood, blood and destruction. So this is a month before September 11th. They knew about Bin Laden as a threat. And in the picture, we have all these things intertwining. And what I love is at the end, at the edge, we have Save the Children, which is fundamentally what seems to be the problem in terms of our society right now. We need to save the children from most of what is happening in it. America is full of conflicting value systems. It's a hard place to live in a number of ways. I mean, we can just look at the latest election where the Republicans and Democrats can't even speak to each other. As in the earlier custody wars photograph, these conflicting value systems are evident as you unpack the content of the pictures. In this one here, it is of a similar nature, very strong conflicting elements. Why was I born? Sin will kill you. Sex without marriage is death. I was thinking of this today, whether this could actually exist in Canada without somebody having to remove it because of what is included in it. So these are literally signs, but they are metaphorically signs of a different nature also. And it is that mixture that I love, the complexity of the mixing of all of those things. In this photograph, we have a representation of something I did for many years and continue, but really as a focus, that is photographing displays, store window displays. In those window displays, so much is said about the person who made that display. Now, you can't have the box stores or other stores that are serial. It has to be the individual person who has constructed that window display that carries the message of some aspect of society which is really intriguing as you lay it in against another. In this case, we have the conflict between the joy of people who kill animals against those who think that it's a crime to kill them. And yet it's a beautiful image. Again, just as I spoke about in terms of the grid work, consumerism, there is that strange play between beauty and ugliness intermeshing often in my work. There's also a layer that is of sadness that Mark Twain spoke about in his own work. There was a underpinning of sadness in his work that he didn't quite understand, and I also feel that in terms of my work. Inside pictures like this, there's often elements like this dog or wolf that they have on the side, that they've stuffed it but put a strange smile on its face. Also in the photograph is this strange picture to include in this kind of window display of the group kiss. And again, it is evident of the qualities of the person who has made that particular display. Remember I was speaking about 1989 as being this really important year of change when I started making straight photographs. I was asking myself that question. What on earth are you doing? Now I'm asking that question through my books about America. I'm asking Americans, what on earth are you doing? And I think the ending of this whole piece is kind of summarized in this. I hate to say it sort of in this obvious kind of way, because I'm dealing with subtleties all the way through. But there is, as we've seen in this last 4 years of the last president, that there is real conflict going on that I don't know how they're going to be able to resolve. American Hell, the last photograph in this suite of images from those two books.